All right, welcome to this video. Today I finished this illustration, and I just want to talk a little bit about it, what I did to finish it up, and just my overall thoughts on it. So this illustration in the background you're seeing is the time lapse of the entire process, well, most of the process, and I finished it up today, and the main goal with this was to create a visual story. That's what like illustration is about. So that's what I'm trying to do with these illustrations, and just challenge myself to do that and get better at it. I haven't created something like this in a while, a full landscape shot like this with a character in the background and everything. So um, it's not new to me, but I'm definitely out of practice with it, and so uh, there's definitely room for improvement. But I'm happy with how the overall the piece came out, and I just want to keep getting better at this and hopefully drawing better pieces. So with this illustration right now, this is just a sketch phase. I'm just trying to get all the main elements in the piece, and throughout this whole thing I'm looking at reference for the castle, the waterfall, all this stuff like that, for color, for what is it called, the castles and the buildings, and definitely trying to get everything together and just put it where I want it to be. So the main goal for these illustrations is to tell a story, and hopefully I did somewhat of a good job with that, and um, hopefully you as a viewer can ask questions and kind of like be interested in knowing what's going on in the piece, because that's the kind of the whole point of illustration, especially when you have characters and stuff involved in it. And so that's what I'm trying to do with this. I remember in the early thumbnail phases and sketches and stuff, that's where it really all started. I was like, what kind of story do I want to tell? How do I want to tell it? And I think I could have did a better job with this one more specifically, just because with this one you can't really tell who the character is, uh, or who she is or what she's doing. Well, I guess you can tell what she's doing, but I think one thing I would have changed with this artwork is I would have made the character more of the centerpiece of the, not centerpiece, what's it called, the focal point, more of a focal point in the piece, and just to get that story in there, a little bit more of the story in there. But I like how it came out, so it is what it is. I'm not gonna dwell on it too much because I definitely want to create more of these with this same character. Her name is Avi, and I'm just trying to draw and make illustrations that show her world and explore her world and the characters in it, like Pumari and Yuki, and her Avi. And what's really cool is just being able to take ideas in my mind and characters in my mind and just be able to draw it out. And that's what I did with this illustration. I imagine Avi is traveling someplace and she has to cross this bridge across a waterfall, and I just thought it was really a cool idea, especially in the early phases when I saw the thumbnail. And so at this point I'm just putting in the lines, and this took a while to do, but it didn't take that long. One thing I want to work on is the buildings, especially. I think I really like my backgrounds and my environments, but I definitely want to work on buildings a lot more, and drawing more medieval and fantasy type of things, especially armor and clothes and stuff. That's one thing I struggle with still. And so as I make these illustrations and introduce new characters in the illustrations, I definitely want to try and challenge myself by creating new designs for characters and fitting them into, or putting them into different types of clothes and armor and stuff like that. But yeah, in the illustration, it didn't take too long to complete. One thing I also want to get good at is, or better at, is color. Uh, at the end of the video, you'll see the final image and stuff, and how it looks. But yeah, just color. Definitely want to get story. I want to work on my story and the illustrations as well, because that's the main thing, is the story of the illustration. If the story of the illustration is good, then the rest of it will take care of itself, I feel like. Especially if you have a good composition with some good colors, characters, everything just ties in together. And one of my favorite artists, I'm actually trying to study illustration, or his illustration work, and break it down and try and emulate it in my own style and with my own characters. His name is Rhodes. I just look at his work on ArtStation, and I really like how he tells stories visually through illustration, and that's what I'm trying to do as well. And so, as I continue to make more drawings and illustrations, definitely want to try and emulate his style a little bit more, especially his compositions. His compositions are crazy, and his lighting and everything, like, for real. But now in the process, I'm adding color, and like I said, I probably can work on the color a little bit more, pull up more reference for it, but I think it's all right. I think it's cool. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I just wanted to talk about the illustration a little bit, and really kind of go into my thought process on it. Like I said, I think I could have made the focal point, which is the character. What's the word? I could have made the character in this illustration stand out more, maybe. Maybe I could have made the composition different, but I'm not gonna worry about it too much. I just wanted to get something done, something I could finish, and just start on the next one, move on to the next thing. In the next illustration, I'm definitely going to make the character centerfold and the main focal point of the piece. So yeah, and just also try and tell some type of story to it, make it somewhat entertaining for the viewer, you guys watching this video. And so, yeah. Oh, that's one thing that was fun too, is lighting is always fun when I'm drawing these landscapes and stuff. Trying to figure out the lighting and the shadows and stuff. That's one thing I really want to get down, because if you look at Rhodes' artwork, that's like one thing he's crazy good at, is establishing light and shadows throughout the piece. And I want to try and emulate that in my illustrations moving forward. So definitely gotta study up a little bit more and draw from reference more. And I'm just excited to keep drawing, making new illustrations and stuff. I definitely want to make some more stuff with more characters in it. I think that'd be fun, having characters interact with each other throughout the illustration. I think that'll bring a lot more story elements into the pieces. And yeah, and just for now, I think this is a dope artwork illustration, and I'm happy with how it came out. I'm pretty much getting towards the finish line now at this point, and I'm just adding in the lights and the sunlight and ambient lights and all that, and that's pretty much it for this illustration. And so, yeah, that's my breakdown for this drawing and illustration, and hopefully I can make better ones. And yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching.